Always true.
Somalia is a country at the crossroads of war, diplomacy and survival, in a region being redrawn militarily and politically. It's a country where global rivalries shape local realities. From Israel's recognition of the breakaway region of Somaliland, rejected by the federal government in Mogadishu, to growing international interests in the Horn of Africa. And then there's the scrutiny from Washington, after President Donald Trump publicly questioned the country's governance, stability, and value as a partner. At home, the challenges are just as stark. An insurgency pushing dangerously close to the capital. Concerns about military courts, human rights, and media freedom. And next year's election, which could reshape the country's political future or deepen instability. Will the president seek a third term or step aside as promised? In this edition, Somalia's leader joins us at a moment of extraordinary pressure. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud talks to Al Jazeera. Mr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the President of Somalia, thank you very much for talking to Al Jazeera.
You're welcome.
You are smack in the middle of everything, at the Horn of Africa, at the Red Sea. What is your expectation of things, how they're going to pan out if the situation between Iran and the United States escalates?
Well, we do not hope, at least, that this will further deteriorate. The traditions of the world order is not in place anymore, and we hope it will come back. But any war, however far from Somalia or however far from any one country, will affect the other country. In particular, Somalia is a coastal state. The war that happens in the Arabian Gulf, in the Indian Ocean, will definitely affect Somalia. Not only Somalia, but also the region surrounding the area. It will affect us. Yes, we do not have a relationship with Iran, but at least as a region, geographically, it will definitely affect us, at least economically, if not otherwise. But the war there, of course, war is always war and destructive, but its economic impact will be more visible and affecting to the people of the region.
Well, you as the President of Somalia are no stranger to wars and conflict, as there's been lots of turmoil we've seen in Somalia over the years, and we're seeing some of it still ongoing in the face of Somaliland's recognition by Israel. Tell us, how did that happen, and where does the state of Somalia stand with that?
This is because of it's a geography as well as demography. It is geography because the location of Somalia is what makes everybody interested to come. And Somalia is open, of course, for many or others to use the Somali strategic location, but in a very peaceful way, in a friendly way, in an amicable way that mutually benefits for the parties concerned. Regarding the issue of secessionists, North Somalia, Somaliland, Israel has seen an opportunity to, of course, I can say to its own interest, but that interest is against the interests of many, not only one. It's affecting Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity, but it's a threat to the region. It's a threat to the Arabian Gulf. It's a threat to the GCC. It's a threat to the world global economy, disrupting the Bab el-Mandeb and Hormuz and the Arabian Sea. All this is a threat that affects not only the region, not only the Gulf, not only the Horn of Africa, not only the Red Sea neighbors, but also far away from there, in far Asia, in North America, and everywhere. The impact will be visible. And Israel is there to disrupt by claiming that its own security, protecting its security from very far away, but disrupting all these networks.
So the reason I asked you that question is because do you see a correlation between what is happening in Gaza, in Palestine, and between what is happening between the United States and Iran. Do you see a correlation with Somaliland with that, or is it something internal?
Of course, there is a correlation. Number one, the three important points that Israel is trying to agree with Somaliland. One of them is forceful displacement of the Palestinians from Gaza to Somalia. So forcing the Palestinians out of their country, forcing the Somalis to bring other nations to our country without our consent, that has that impact. Regarding of course, America and Israel are close allies. They do so many things together. What they are doing is it right or wrong is another case, but they are partners of everything. But the United States is a superpower. It has so many partnerships with us. It has a partnership with us, with all the GCC countries, but also has a partner with Israel. So here, what we have right now is Israel. We don't have any threat from the United States at all. The United States has been standing, supporting Somalia and in the war against terror, in state building, in development, in many areas. We have a close collaboration with the United States, but Israel. And the fact is that so far, as of today, the United States is not in line with the Israelis' action in Somaliland. So this is a unilateral action of Israel. There are so many countries that has not denounced what Israel is doing in Somalia, but this has been an action taken by Israel.
And have you reached out to the US? Because as you said, you've got a bilateral relationship with the United States as well, and the United States has influence over Israel. What have the Americans told you?
No, we have approached the United States and they promised that they will not recognize Somaliland and they will not agree Israel with what it's doing in Somalia. And so far, that's maintained. What we are seeing as of now is the United States has not recognized Somaliland, is not, as they told us, is not going to recognize, and they are not supporting Israel in doing so publicly. So that's the current status quo of today.
Let's stay with Somaliland. We're getting reports about the Israeli base that has been developed there. Is that your belief as well, that there is an Israeli base there now? And what does it mean for the sovereignty of Somalia? And
the three issues that the information that we have is Israel agreed with Somaliland is bring Palestinians to Somalia, and then having a base in Somalia as well. And the third was Somaliland to sign the Abraham Accord. These were the three pillars of the agreement that Israel has with the secessionist group of Somaliland. And Abraham Accord is something else. Everybody can agree, or it's a document, or whoever wants. But the issue is the base that Israel wanted to have there. Why? That's the question. Why Israel wanted to have a base in Somalia? Base is not a tourist center. It's not a Riviera of tourism and all this. Base is a military, and military means attacking or defending. There is no place to defend Israel in Somalia. So what we're seeing is that Israel is preparing or positioning itself to attack someone else.
Well, if you look at the Israeli media, they would say that this is to counter the presence of Houthis right across the pond from you, and also to counter influence like the Turks in that region.
Who made the Israelis in charge of defeating or fighting Houthis? They do not represent us. We are neighbors to Yemen. If we agree, if we disagree, if we fight, if we cooperate, that is a business of someone else. It has nothing to do with Israel. And that's not justifiable reason to infringe the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of independent states.
On the issue of sovereignty, obviously, you've got bilateral relationships with the multiple countries. Turkey's recently deployed F-16s to Mogadishu as well. Mm-hmm. Where does that relationship stand? Because some people might argue that because you can invite others who want to cede from Somalia can also invite other countries.
Turkey and Somalia has a very, very good relationship, and Somalia is open for everybody, anybody who has a mutual interest for Somalia will be dealing with. And Turkey has proven that It's a reliable partner, as well as not only Turkey, but we, as I said earlier, we have such relationship with the United States. We have United States forces in the ground supporting Somalia, Somali security forces. And we have many other countries who are also supporting the African Union. There are around a couple of countries who have provided forces in Somalia.
You mentioned a multiple group of militaries which are present in Somalia, obviously because of the issues that you've been facing according with Al-Shabab. But Turkey is different. Other militaries that are there are for a very specific purpose. Let's talk about Turkey-Israel. Do you think that that partnership is also important because of Israel's increasing role there as well? And do you see it as a countering force, the relationship between Turkey and Somalia to Israel?
Well, Turkey and Somalia's agreement and relationship is multifaceted. It's not only security. It is economic. It is geopolitical strategies. So all this. Turkey has come to Somalia not to fight with Israel or not to attack with Israel. Turkey has come to Somalia to support. And the framework agreement that we have in the defense in particularly is to support Somalia defend itself from evil forces that want this. So far, the Israelis are playing, it is all, as of now, it's a diplomatic gesture. We don't have Israeli security forces in Somalia yet, and we don't see them coming in the near future as well. But had that come, then that's another day and another discussion.
What will you do if they do?
Well, we will fight in our capacity. Of course, we will defend ourselves.
And that means that you will confront any Israeli forces coming in to Somaliland.
We are against that, and we will never allow that.
And have you had this conversation with your partners? Is there international forces who would help you do that?
No, Israel is not part of that international forces.
No, but the countries that you are partners with, will they help you counter them?
Every partnership has a specific purpose. And so far, we have no, the multi-forces that are in Somalia are there to defend, support Somalia, number one, against the terrorism, and number two, building Somali security forces. These are the kind of partnership that we have with many states. Had Israel become a threat to the existence of Somalia, some of those partnerships will be also helping Somalia to defend itself, of course.
Let's stay with Somaliland. There's another clan called the Isa clan, declared a Guban state inside Somaliland. Some fingers have been pointed towards Mogadishu of instigating that. Is that the case? Is that Mogadishu's counter within Somaliland?
No, that's not true. We have a policy in place, and that policy is still valid, which was to agree one Somaliland instead of fragmented Somaliland. And that's what we have. We have negotiations with Somaliland in London, in Turkey, in many different places. And still we are seeking that dialogue to be continued. But the Somali administration is the one that is unable to hold together the regions. And they are the ones who attacked some regions because of the clan base, because of different political views. Many of the people in Somaliland, they are pro-unionists. So whoever said, enough is enough, we have to go back and agree with the rest of Somalia, the administration attacks. That's what makes them fragmented, not our interference. We never, our policy has been always to negotiate and agree with one Somaliland. But Somaliland is fragmenting because of its own internal issues.
Just now we were talking about how the global order is changing. And that is also, you can see the ripples in that region as well, especially with the relationship between Gulf states such as Saudi Arabia and UAE as well. Where does Somalia stand with the relationship with the United Arab Emirates? Going forward, where do you see them vis-a-vis not just Somaliland and also bilaterals with Somalia?
Well, United Arab Emirates has been a close ally to Somalia for some time. And we were having some problem for some time as well. Without going into deep detail, the main difference lies that the United Arab Emirates, we requested them that in Somalia there is a state. deal with the state and deal Somalia as one, not as pieces here and there and regions and administrations here and there. That was difficult for them. We have been engaging, talking to them for quite a good time to deal Somalia as a one country, having one state. For them, it was not possible for them to do that for their own reasons, and that was not helpful to us. We tried, we maintained patience for a long time, but now it became very much serious that fragmenting Somalia, we cannot accept someone supporting Somalia to be divided or to be divided and divided again. So United Arab Emirates, that is the difference that we had. They supported Somalia in the past. They were supporting, that's true. But that support does not give a meaningful end if it doesn't help a united Somalia, keeping Somalia together, bringing Somalia together. Somalia has suffered a lot and fragmented a lot. We cannot entertain any further fragmentation of Somalia.
What does this mean for your bilateral relations going forward
With
the United Arab Emirates?
Well, as of now, we have that differences. We requested them to leave the country, and in terms of security, our diplomatic relationship is still there. Our embassy is there in Abu Dhabi. Their embassy is there in Mogadishu. We have not affected that, but we stopped the cooperation that we had, security, economic. These were the cooperations that we had. We stopped all these things, and we requested all those elements that were working, security, defense, economic agreements, to leave the country. That is where we are right now.
You mentioned the three things that Israel is interested in Somaliland, and one of them being displacing Palestinians, ethnically cleansing them, and rebasing them into Somaliland. Are there any other partners that are willing to go with Israel on this? Is there anybody else who agrees with them?
No, never heard or never approached us to anybody doing that. Who is supporting Israel? So far, we don't have anyone.
What is your principled position on whether there are people who will be brought to Somaliland? Where do you stand? And can you unequivocally say that, like you said, that you would fight Israeli forces if they come in? What will you do if there is a boat of refugees that comes to the shores of Somalia, which has Palestinians in it?
Well, we will reject and we will send them back, and we will not allow them to be there. Someone can come benefiting the certain weaknesses of Somalia, but that will never be a sustainable solution for anyone, or it will not be a durable and sustainable solution for anyone. We will never allow others, and I don't think that the Palestinians will come there voluntarily at all. Palestinians are brotherly people, and they are in some of them are there in Somalia today, enjoying the limited resources that Somalia can offer. But we don't want dumping them. That negates their rights in their own territory as well. It's not a temporary, it's not an issue. When Israel exports Palestinians to Somalia, that means for them there's no go back. And we don't want them. Of course, they can stay Somalia, they can come Somalia, this is their home, but we don't want them that to facilitate or help Israel to simply deny the rights of the Palestinians to their own territory. No, that's not acceptable, not only for the interests of Somalia, but for the interests of the Palestinians as well.
It appears that multilateralism is coming to an end. You talked about your relationship vis-a-vis the United States, and you talked about the relationship that the United States has with Israel. And it appears that there will be favorites in those relationships. So where do you stand with the United States today, especially with the Trump administration? Have you been speaking to them about not just the issue of Somaliland, but other areas of cooperation? And going forward, where do you stand with them?
Well, we have, as I said earlier, we have a very good relationship with them. They are supporting Somalia. The American experts are there in Somalia in supporting the security institutions and the security sector of Somalia. They are there fighting with hand in hand with the Somali security forces there. That's the security and the defense sector, and we have agreements. We have agreements relating to those areas, but also we have economic agreements as well, and there are efforts going on to further improve. So we have a continuous dialogue with the United States right now.
I asked that question because President Donald Trump has used statements such as it's not a real country and something to the effect of calling it, quote, a hellhole. That does not instill confidence in your bilateral relationship, does it?
Well, whatever President Trump said, I can tell you and I can assure you, right, that there is an ongoing dialogue between the United States and Somalia in terms of economic development and in terms of American investment into Somalia. These negotiations are going on. Recently, there have been American business people in Somalia, and I have a 3-day session with the Somalis, private partners of Somalia, as well as the government. And soon we are expecting another higher delegation coming from the United States. So this is going on. Whatever President Trump says, I would like you to ask him why, the meaning of that. But for us, it's not making any difference.
Let's come to the situation inside Somalia.
Yes.
You've seen multiple US administrations come and go. There's an upcoming election. Does this mean that you'll run for a third term?
Well, the Somali constitution says that a president can be elected twice, but that twice has to be successive. So far, I don't have 2 successive terms, so I can still stand for. This is the successive second term I'm standing. So, of course, elections are coming, and these elections are different from the previous elections. We want those elections to be based on political parties with a new constitution. And in that line, I am standing for the upcoming elections as well.
Why would the people of Somalia vote for you? What has been, let's say, the 3 resounding successes of your presidency, and why is it necessary, in your opinion, to have that continuation of policies?
I was elected in 2012 for the first time, and I was the first president who led a non-transitional government. Today, there are governance institutions all over Somalia. Wherever there is an issue that someone responsible, some institution responsible can be answered on what has happened. So the country has that. That's number one significant achievement I left. Liberated around 30 districts throughout Somalia by that time. Now I came back in 2022, and since then, we've put in place a strategy for the first time that was not there in fight against terror. And we have tangibly succeeded on those strategies by liberating major portions of Somalia, and Al-Shabab is on the run right now. I came in 2012 where Al-Shabab was, where the government was besieged by Al-Shabab. Explosions were common. Al-Shabab was collecting money from the seaport, from the airport, from the main markets of Mogadishu. Today, none of that is happening. Al-Shabab was transactioning with the banks and remittances and all this. Today, it's hardly there. Transaction is happening within. I came to a time, and today, Mogadishu, for example, the capital city of Somalia, is changing, it's booming. We didn't have any explosives significantly in the recent time, although they have tried my life a number of times. So the people of Somalia today see the differences that we brought. And if we are given a chance, we will bring more. There is a oil and gas under exploration today. There is a major infrastructure like seaport, airports under construction. Every single state in the federation, today there is an airport built. There is a major hospital, referral hospital in the region, and there are a lot of kilometers of road, highways that has been recorded. So the country is under reconstruction right now. In the last 3 years, this was the initiative. Besides, we succeeded to lift an arms embargo that was there on Somalia for 31 years. The longest arms embargo in the history of the United Nations was there on Somalia, and that's completely lifted. There was a debt in Somalia around $5 billion for the last 30 years. It has been removed and relieved. All this is indications that Somalia is coming, still not the place where we would have liked to be, but we are coming back. Giving me another chance will bring a real tangible difference. And the Somali people, I believe, sees that.
Finally, Mr. President, you said that you have made those changes and strides and Al-Shabab is on the run, but you do realize that there are challenges of governance. There are challenges of getting to the grassroots of the people, not just in Mogadishu. Somalia is a big country with big clans, and there's still connectivity issues, technology issues, financial issues, governance issues. You've had 2 terms. What confidence can you give to the people of Somalia foremost and to the outside world that this time around is going to be a different presidency?
There are gaps in governance, particularly in the rural area, in the remote areas, not in the cities and towns, number one. Number two is technology, yes. Somalia, one area that we can claim we have a significant progress is the technology. The depth and the coverage of the mobile phone today in Somalia is exceptional, far better than many other African countries that never went into state collapse or civil war or anything. Now elections are going on in Somalia, and the software for that election is a Somali-made. It's not a software that has been purchased from outside. It's not a software that has been made by foreign experts. It's a software that's been developed by Somalis only. So Somalia today, I can say I was there since the powerful state of Somalia in the 1970s and 80s. And I was brought up in that system, and I enjoyed it. I never went outside Somalia, except when I went for education or other purpose. And then I was there during the collapse, during the civil war, during the difficult era. Today in Somalia, I'm very much happy with where we are, the progress that we are making. But even then, I still believe we are not where we were supposed to be. We are not where we want to be. But we have done a very significant progress in all areas of state.
Mr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, thank you very much for talking to Al Jazeera.
You're most welcome.